Hello, everyone. Hello, Terry.
Hello, Ari. I thought you were going to take the reins, mate.
I can take the reins. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the the last show of Reflections for the year. We can say with certainty. We
This
did
is the
say this.
last
Yeah.
ever reflections.
Yes. I think that's fair to say. It's the last ever Reflections. Um, we're here after whatever happened on Saturday nights. I actually haven't spoken to you since the game. I actually didn't speak to you like during the game as well.
Okay, can I start this show properly, please? Because that's just not how we do things here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reflections here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It is Wednesday, the 11th of September. It's 9/11.
Yeah, it is. Do you
Ari,
want to know? Do you want to know the first game played? First game of AFL football played after 9/11. It was
no, what was it?
Carlton Richmond semi final
Semi-final?
in 2001. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, we lost. So
Was that the game where the scoreboard was on fire, or am I mixing up
no,
memories?
no, that's before.
Right.
That's 90s. Yeah, I think.
Well, Ari, we're here to reflect. I don't know what we're reflecting on, but we're here to reflect.
Well, you've told it a season finale, and I think that's a good way of kind of putting a final full stop on everything.
For this
No,
show.
for this show, sure.
And this will be the last time we do reflections ever.
Yes, it will.
Now, why
Which
is
is
that?
twofold, because the club haven't progressed past an elimination final, and also because we can't really reflect on the same games 2 years in a row, can we?
True. So we're going to have to
Yeah.
get creative as to what we do next year.
We can maybe reflect on the reflections episodes. No. Okay. Just an idea.
I think it needs to be something where we look ahead.
Could do. What's the antonym of reflection? Projection?
Mm. Do you know the words to Yesterday yet, the song?
No. I didn't do
Do you
my
know this?
research.
Did you know that we made No Context BA?
Oh, very much so. Yes.
Yesterday. It's
Yeah.
so poignant, though. All my troubles seem so far away.
Is it?
Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, we rely so much on decoding.
Pretty apt. I've speaking of music, I spent my whole of my day off yesterday creating a playlist of like mid 2000s indie bands that featured on FIFA games throughout the decade. So like Kasabian and things like that.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
Kind of. Okay, full caveat. I did not want to do this show.
Yes, he said this to me before we started filming.
I did not want to do this show tonight. I just didn't. But I do believe in complete work. And I do
Thanks.
believe that we do need to reflect on the season, for better or for worse.
I think it would be very much. I don't want to say going back on your word, but you are very kind of like holistic when you talk about a lot of things from
Yeah,
the beginning to the end, like you want. Yeah. So
yeah.
should we just
Well, who have we got here? Let me say hello to the people that are sadly still watching. Gokhan. Hey, did you know on my
sadly?
plane ride home that I sat next to Anthony Koutafidis and Gokhan? I was in the middle.
Well, that's
Right?
don't say that. That'd be like literally like two parts of your life
Yeah,
combining.
yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty cool.
Hey, did you get an email about the bobblehead?
No, because my membership is it a membership? Was this a membership email?
No. This was a did you miss out on a bobblehead? Here's another chance to win one. Da, 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 da. Get your bobble.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jay. Joshua's here. Joshy's here. Justin's here. Lou Felino's here. Peter V. Bobblehead Blue is here.
That is fucking quality.
Unbranded. John JT. Yes.
Oh, they're gonna kill us. They're gonna kill
Yeah,
us.
I think they will.
They're gonna
think
kill us.
they will.
They're gonna kill us.
I think they will. Is it just time? Is it just, just a bit of time? Joshua, mate, I believed me when I said it just can't end like this. There has to be more to it.
There was more to it.
What?
We didn't just lose.
Oh, I guess the more to it was the realization that they did actually just throw it away.
We didn't just lose. That's what the final twist was.
That was bad, man.
Yeah.
It was like old Carlton. But for people like you and I, old Carlton isn't old Carlton. Old Carlton is like 2018, 19, 20, 21 Carlton.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like, whoa.
Like,
yeah, fuck.
We're back. Oh well.
It was a very, very somber. Where like the permutations that I was watching the game in. It was very somber. My daddy's moving house. And it's like my childhood house. Like it's the house that I've grown up in, and we're in the process of moving. So like everything was gone. So I just had a chair in the middle of the living room watching that, and it just felt like everything was just capitulating. So I guess it's kind of apt.
Should have started singing. Is there a fire drill to them on the ground?
No, that would insinuate that they were there and then left.
What would you say is a song to sum up the year?
The year or the year?
Or like a quote from a bunch of lyrics from a song. I don't know why I've got Craig David in my head. I'm walking away.
I was more like
from the troubles in my life. I'm walking away.
I was thinking more like took her for a drink on Tuesday. That wouldn't make as much sense.
Took a whoa.
No, it was a joke. It was a joke. It's okay.
But what's the song?
7 days. Oh, so he comes at me for not knowing yesterday.
No, I know the song. I'm just trying to get the lyrics up.
Yeah. No, I was just when you said Craig David, that was the first thing that came to my head.
Can you sing those lyrics again?
No.
Drink on a Tuesday when we're making love by Wednesday.
Hey, look, he's smiling now. Great.
You didn't commit to that. You half-assed that.
I'm not
This is the
committing.
problem. This is the problem. Half-assing is the problem.
Don't insinuate that to me.
I'm not insinuating, and I'm being very direct.
That's fine. That's great.
It's so fun.
Joshua, I was actually going to bring that up today. Have you listened to Back Chat with Mitch McGovern?
No.
Came out today. Very good podcast.
What was the takeaway?
Not a whole lot, because it wasn't really. It was more just like a kind of holistic. Mitch is a very, very laid back person. just something that I observed and took away from that was he's a very, very laid back person. When he spoke about the kick after the siren against Collingwood, um, and he spoke about like kind of the expectation and stuff. It felt quite laid back, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just another keen observation considering because that was filmed when that was filmed obviously when they were in the West. So yeah, just considering how the last couple of weeks have
Shit.
transpired.
I just realized I deleted Joshua instead of Walter. Sorry, Joshua. I have to fix that after the show. It's because it kept scrolling.
Oh, poor Josh.
Joshua, my bad, mate. You're welcome here. Walter, you're a fucking idiot. Joshua,
Credit
I will fix this afterwards. That was a complete mistake.
And if he doesn't, message him. And if Terry doesn't get back to you, message me, and I'll tell Terry.
Yeah, remind me. Yeah, I have to do it after the show. I can't do it now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what a shame.
I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah. I've prepared. As I normally do, I prepare spiels.
You got a spiel?
I not only do I have a spiel, I have a poem.
Oh, hurry. Take it away.
So I thought, obviously, I thought, obviously,
take me away, 1,000,000 miles away from here.
Poems are obviously very, I wouldn't say somber, but they're very emotive. Most poems are very emotive. So I thought, in as this show would probably be very deep in our feels, I thought a poem would be apt rather than just me talking. So it's a poem of the season.
Okay, I'll unban Joshua while you do that.
Okay, great. So the year started where we left off a win at the Gabba. No one could forecast. 46 points down, the Blues were in trouble until Curnow arrived to get them out of the rubble. A comeback for the ages kicked off the year. If only we knew we'd be back in September, this time with a tear. A win over Richmond came next, despite being a chore. We went into our first bye, sitting pretty in the 4. A Good Friday smashing with Jacob returning, a fantastic start to the year. These boys were learning. We went over to Adelaide and stole victory from defeat, seeing opposition fans complain. Boy, that was sweet. We got dish revenge the next week at Marvel. Cracks began to show, ever so partial. Giants got dealt with in a third quarter blitz. We all thought the rest of the comp should just call it quits. Cats taught us a lesson in a thriller at the G, as did Nick Dacos. We're on Brownlow night, he'll get 3. Petrarca did his best, but we snuck away with the dub. The next week wasn't pretty. The Swans are a pretty good club. A win against the Suns put us back on track. Cincotta shut down Miller. The Blues found their hack. Last quarter domination from the skipper Paddy Cripps. Things were going smoothly, following all the scripts. We went into the bye having just smashed the Dons. The only thing stopping number 17 was those pesky Sydney Swans. A Friday night humiliation, a 10-goal drubbing of Geelong, a 22-man effort, all of whom were on song. Another comfortable win, this time against the Tigers. It was looking so gettable, achieving the ultimate prize. 8 goals in the first term, another win was there for the taking, but Hogan arrived and proved to be a star in the making. 15 goals to 8 from quarter time put Carlton's winning streak to an end. This anomaly of performance proved to be a trend. A depleted Dogs defence, Harry and Charlie were ready to pounce. Not 6 goals, 9 between them was anything but a trounce. The most unconvincing of wins, the Blues just got rid of North. A loss against Port the next week saw them clinging on to 4th. Injuries started to mount and the tasks were getting tougher. Pendle's 400th. You don't think a loss could get rougher. Gov had the game on his boot, but his kick missed to the right, and there went Carlton season, sailing out of sight. If that wasn't bad enough, a cocky Hawks side were around the corner as 84,000 people turned from footy fan into mourner. You can't win anything with kids, as the old saying goes. Put them in a do-or-die game out in the West, and they turn into pros. Sunday, the 25th of August, proved to be D-Day. Finals or tears. It wouldn't be any other way. Turns out it was both, as Jack Higgins broke Carlton hearts until Willie Rioli repaired them from all those broken parts. Back to the Gabba we went. The ultimate heist was needed. It wasn't looking too bad until the first 60 points were conceded. The dot goal was nice, but in the end, what did it matter? It was 28 points at full time. To the Blues, it did flatter. A season full of promise turned out to be all just a front, contenders to pretenders in just a matter of months.
It's pretty good.
Thanks, man. What a depressing fucking thing to write.
There's no way it's going to make sense for a couple more days, right? Probably doesn't make sense until next year.
I think we only find the sense of it
Later.
until we see them again. Yeah.
True. We didn't know what to make sense of Jamie Elliott with the dagger at the time.
Yeah, it only, things like this only start to make sense after we see them again and after the next chapter's written. Yeah, it's a fucking, yeah. How was your, what was the feeling? So like on the plane going up.
The feeling was one of gratitude, as I mentioned in my review.
Yeah.
Which you didn't watch.
I did watch. Thank you very much.
I did answer the question. No. It was. I know that I'm going to Brisbane. I am excited to go to Brisbane. I am aware that logically we're not going to win. I am hoping to be there for something special. That was my feeling.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Mm.
I think that's fair enough. I also think it's very how do I, like, ironic in a sense how our seasons ended at the same place with the same result 2 years in a row, but the feeling couldn't be as different. Yeah,
so I'm very fortunate and grateful to have been there at the final siren for both moments. I was seated where the boys actually walked out from, so where they returned as well. There were claps, but just more of, I think it's just a subconscious thing to do. Whereas last year it was a standing ovation and a really powerful moment. And then this year it was just more of a limp clap, But yeah, I mean, hearing Country Road didn't hit like last year. I don't know why. Maybe because I got used to it. Wow. Well, they just threw it away, mate. They literally just threw it away. And that's the part that's just so wild.
Yeah, it's, if we had a season like 2022 and fell in, I mean, ironically, if we had made finals in 2022, I think we would have versed Brisbane. So it's kind of ironic how the seasons have mirrored up in a sense. If we,
does this now become the new reference point? You know how we referred to 8 and 2 for ages? Like, does this become the new 8 and 2, the 11 and 4?
Yeah. Well, yes, but also we don't need to reference anything. Like where would you reference 11 and 4? Like when talking about it.
As in, it's always, I think 8 and 2 has gotten a run for the last 2 seasons, this season and last year.
Yeah.
And lessons learned when they were up 8 and 2, and I think we just created a new one, like a new version of it. It's just, we want to learn from our mistakes and not get to You know what the fear is? They get to like 13 and 0. And then lose every game for the rest of the year.
They do a North in 20.
We just never
whatever it was.
really get comfortable. I think that's Yeah, like what do you learn from this year? Like never truly think that they've made it until they've won the final game on the final day. Like, is that ultimately the lesson?
I think it has to be, right? But I find it so fascinating how, obviously, because the talk, obviously, with Geelong and the way that they got through, and even the Swans in the same vein. Like, I find it so fascinating how, like, Geelong haven't always been what the Geelong Football Club are now, right?
Mm.
Obviously, they, like Gary Ablett Senior played in what, 4 or 5 grand finals, didn't win one in that stretch, and the Swans went on their really long drought. But now, like in our lifetimes, especially in my lifetime in particular, they're the clubs that they've been, and it all changed. Like the Geelong game, you can point to that game against Richmond in 2007 when they beat them by 400 points, and then they've not been the same club, not even the same side, the same club since. They lost one game for the rest of that year, won the flag, won 2 out of the next 5, and have missed finals twice since from that point onwards. Right?
Mm.
What is our like? Is that going to happen to us?
That would mean it won't be until your kids are
No,
alive
but
and kicking.
yeah, I know. But what I'm not necessarily talking about the streak, like the streak of losing or whatever. It's the moment when the penny drops and all these false dawns and all
Yeah.
these like because a 10 goal win against Geelong, 9 goal last quarter, backing it up the next week with another 10 goal win. That's not that can't be a false dawn,
Can we
surely.
go? Should we go like watch fan cams from that night?
Sorry on them.
Like, what was the peak? What was the peak?
The
It was
Geelong
that
game.
night. It was
Yeah,
absolutely that night.
absolutely. Because the week after we bet the Tigers, but like that was like yeah, we all know where they are. Whereas the Cats are at least like Cats are in the top 8, and obviously like man, they've got 1 foot in a grand final. So in
Fan.
hindsight, that wins even better.
Oh wow, fan cams. Geelong, Carlton v Geelong, AFL round 15, 2024. How long do you think the fan cams on this particular evening went? Have a guess.
It's either really long or really short. I can't
Well,
remember.
they're always really long, but like, you know,
Yeah, but some are like an hour and a half, and some are like 4 hours. I'm gonna go 3 hours 45 minutes.
3 hours and 10.
Not a bad stint.
Fuck. Pick a timestamp, just a random timestamp, and I will click on the timestamp.
48:23. Who is it?
48:23.
Got the back end of Paolo.
To Jono, mate, he's not the quiet young man that many think he is. Anyway, it's good to see. It gets the best of us, mate. It gets the best of us. So on to Richmond next week. Away
Very
we
good.
go. And we don't talk about individuals now because we've got a good football team.
Just look. It's not Paolo's fault because I think we're all thinking it at the same time. But just play that clip back in 2 weeks when there's a Brownlow medal Schrabe and Crippers on 36 votes heading into the last round, and we're all fucking.
Pick another timestamp.
Mate, you pick one. I pick one.
17:38. 8. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
God.
shit. Oh. No, I feel Joe's copped it. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Should I pick another one? No, I'll pick another one. 10101. 10101. There's got to be a better way to do this.
Just Yeah.
We'll be there. We'll be there, and we'll be at finals just like last year, mate. Don't worry about that.
How good.
Not wrong. We were there.
Wait, I reckon he was saying that they're going to fly back. Let me actually go to 10101. 101. Let's go here.
Win.
Unreal. Unreal.
Yeah.
What about, wait, so how long are you in Vietnam for? What's the story there? What, you guys just on holiday?
Yeah, we're on holidays. We've been here just a bit over 2 weeks, and we're here for another about 5 days.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're in Singapore just before that as well. So
Just got to make sure you get here for September, mate.
we'll be there. We'll be there, and we'll be at finals just like last year, mate. Don't worry about that.
How good. No, it's so good. I'm all right.
Can I just say now they're on the topic of fan cams? I think I've seen it in the comments. No context BA. Lovely Instagram account. That clip of Mark with the medals after the Collingwood game. When I tell you, I don't think I've laughed hard. Like, oh my, I was in hysterics. Your face is like, oh my, it is the single funniest thing.
Should we play it again?
Oh, play it. Like, your face in that video is like, oh, I don't think I've laughed harder when I saw that.
Around 21, 2024. I was gonna like put this thing together of this show like fan cam of the year, but like he wins.
Yeah.
We're on the cusp of suddenly missing out on the 8. Now, you call me crazy. It couldn't happen, could it? It could not happen, could it? I'll tell you right now. If we can't beat Hawthorn next week, and look, they're in good form, but God, they've given us absolute trauma for a good 10, 15 years. You know, we've had a little bit back the last 3. And the scary thing is, I think they're going to be back there again. But if, for the love of God, we can't get through in our last home game at the MCG, because obviously we've got a home game against St Kilda Docklands in the last round, which who knows where that will be played because it's so tight. If we can't get through that, I think we're done. I don't want to say that, but boy,
I would look. You're right. If we can't, of course, ultimately we've got to get back up next week for Hawthorn. So I reckon we've got to focus there. But I do appreciate you calling in.
Twins out.
And I saw it
and you know what? You do it from
at the start. Yeah.
You see it. Like, we've got to do our bit to obviously motivate these boys. I don't understand what it's going to take to motivate these boys. You know what? Just hold up, Terry. You can make time for everybody, but I've got something that may need some showing. And I think you might have been very familiar before with what I'm about to get. So just hold up for a moment.
All right, let's move along, though. It's a long night. Let's move along.
I'm getting onto it. Onto it.
Closing statement, please.
Closing statement. Hang on a second. Oh, boy. You see all of that? Are these boys going to remember when their time is up that they're going to either have this or they're going to have nothing? Because right now we're on the cusp of suddenly missing.
Oh,
it's oh my God!
It just sent me.
It's just so funny. Like the delivery of that entire 10-second bit is like, it's like Gervais wrote it. Like, it's just unbelievable.
He honestly is undefeated.
So,
and the irony is, he was the very first ever fan cam to be on the channel.
Yeah, but yeah,
like he's just come up with some of these moments. Like, that is one of the funniest moments I can remember.
Yeah, it's life has a funny way of working.
Action indoor Division 5 soccer, winter. Oh my god! It just. Do you know why I laughed like that though? Because I don't know if he's Carlton people. He had the medals back years ago, and I had completely forgotten about the medals.
So this is like a callback.
Yeah, and that's why it just sent me.
It's so funny. It is so good.
Okay, so what was the lowest point? We did the highest. What was the lowest point? Like from a round? Was it Hawthorn?
Brisbane.
Brisbane?
Well, yeah, surely.
Because I want to go like pick a round and a timestamp. We can do like a timestamp game. Maybe from like the good patch.
When was the first inclination that we might do Port?
Okay.
The first one over there.
Good call.
Because that was the first time where we thought, oh, hold on, something's like we're not bad here.
True. Port. That was round 20.
No, the first one, Meteor.
Oh, the good one.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like the first time that we thought that we were like half decent.
Oh, true. And we thought it was like real. So because Port was before Geelong.
Yeah, it went Suns, Port, Bombers by Cats, Tigers. I think.
Okay. Port Adelaide fan cams.
Wow, that feels like yesterday, man.
Yesterday.
Shut up.
All right. You're going to pick a timestamp. I'm going to pick a timestamp. And then the chat is going to pick a timestamp. Ari, round 12, Port Adelaide. The first time we thought it was real. I had a fresh shaved head. Pick a timestamp.
14.6. Wow.
14.06? Huh?
Yeah. Skin fade. 14.6, yeah. Just get close to it, at least.
Talking to Terry. They can't see you, Dali. It's all good. Just the wife worried about. If you keep talking, they can hear. What a
It's the sass.
This married life.
Did you see it blowing out like that in the fourth? Did you see that?
I actually texted, cousins and mates and stuff that we'll kick into the scoring end last quarter, and that's it.
Yep.
And I said, mate, for some reason, there's a hoodoo on that side. There's glad wrap over the goals, and that was it, mate. It just happened. And when Chincotta kicked that goal, mate. Oof.
Was that the moment when you thought we definitely won this game?
No, definitely not. No, this year, the last couple of years, ever since the Collingwood effect, Collingwood's put this effect on every team where you can come back from anything. Now, Geelong was 8 goals down from Portis and they still came back and almost won the game. So you just can't say you won the game unless it's 5 goals with 5 minutes to go almost. So, which
I'm going to go like here. I wonder what Pommy said that night. Oh, it's funny how footy rewards those who play the selfless role.
Mate, and did he take his goal well? Cheeky little right snap. Filthy.
I can't even imagine what you were like when Chincotta kicked that goal.
Honestly, the best way I could describe it is my cock and balls 8. Honestly, I'm going to be totally honest. Absolutely lost my banana.
Perfect.
Very good. Peak Pommy.
Perfect.
Oh, God.
Where was it for you?
Where was what for me?
When was the... Because the stages was 3. There was 3 stages this year. It was the we're actually good. It's like we might be good. We're actually good. We're done. No, it's there's 4. We might be good. We're actually good. We might be done. We're actually done.
Okay, let me just get the fixture up and tell you right now. Yesterday.
Here we go.
Okay. Honestly, I thought. What was the first one? We might be good.
Yeah.
Here.
Giants.
Yep. Thought we might be good because we withstood their best and counterpunched.
And then when was we're actually good?
I thought. Well, here.
Yeah.
I thought because we got smashed by Sydney, responded, and then Geelong. I'm like, yeah, we're sick. And even here, we didn't play very well, but we still won by 10 goals.
7 goals in 12 minutes in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm. And then, honestly, it wasn't. I didn't believe we might be bad until he. Probably here, but even so, I was still like, I think we found something in the last 10, 15 minutes of that Collingwood game and just fell short after the siren. And this was just the worst. I didn't have a we might be bad. I just went to we're bad.
Really? Okay.
What about you?
We might be good was, ironically, the solidification of the we might be good was that Geelong loss.
Okay.
Because we'd beaten the Giants and we versed Geelong and we were with them. And in my opinion, we should have won that game. Because we played in my opinion, we played really, really well. In my opinion, I watch that game and I go, okay, we've got it. We're in order here. Like this game didn't fly away, but we're in order. Like those games in the past, where we withstand and then we get blown out by 10 goals. But like we're with them. And then even the week after, we were bad against Collingwood the week after, but we only lost by a point or by a kick. So I was like, we might be good then. It was it's obviously the Geelong game.
So let's just go. I just want to look here right for a second, and I want to look at the lineups because, okay, this was the game. Everyone's there, right? No injury issues to speak of against Geelong, would you say? Obviously, Chera and Cottrell.
Yeah, Chera, Cottrell were the ones I thought. Yeah.
Okay. So then that's fine. Because I reckon we're going to potentially bust a myth. Let's go Giants. Did we get injuries in this game?
To Conning.
In the Giants game?
Oh, and then actually no, I lie. Actually, yeah, no. Oh, Wiedering came off with the corky.
He did. He came off. Yeah.
Wiedering came off with the corky. Charlie, the mythical ankle.
Oh, Charlie had the ankle in the warm-up. Okay. Did Zach Williams hurt himself in this game?
Can you see he got subbed out?
True.
Check Tog. 72%. Probably. No.
Owies was the sub?
Oh, he's all Fantasia. I think it might have been Owies. No, Fantasia got subbed because he kicked the goal in the second.
Sub was Matt Owies, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I want to go to the timeline. Oh, take me back.
So that second quarter of the Giants game, I was there. And that's when that was we might be done. Because
really?
I turned to I was sitting with Brando, who's kind of frequents the fan cam sometimes, and Kira as well, who's floated around AFLW show and that. And Wiedering came off. They got on a run on, and I think I turned to one of them and I said, Wiedering off's going to hurt us a lot. And then I saw them just explode out of the midfield. And I was like, oh my God, this is Sydney all over again. And I thought, we can't stop this. Like, there's no run on going on. There's no stopping of the momentum. And that's when I was like, that was my first inclination of, okay, this wasn't just a loss. Because, yeah, we had a great start. We only lost by 12 points, but we conceded 18 goals to 5. 18 goals to, no, was it 15 goals to 8 from quarter time? That's a demolition.
The Giants have had far quicker ball movement than Carlton through the corridor. They are playing on 43% of the time from 7 marks, while Carlton is playing on just 25% from 4 marks. This is when we're dominating. So Williams kicks 3 goals, 23-minute mark, 25-minute mark, and the 30-minute mark of the first quarter. And then it just...
And then it turned.
Wow. We were something else. Okay.
And I actually had
a bad day.
I had another friend of mine sitting in front of me. He's a Sydney supporter, and it was when, and he was going to me in the first quarter. Oh, you've won, mate. You're clear. You've won. Like whatever. And I go, nah, but that's his first quarter. He goes, you kicked 8 goals. Drop my pen. You kicked 8 goals in the first quarter against the Giants. Like you're good. And I go, yeah, you're probably right.
Okay.
And then what happened.
And then, you know what? It was a bad day. I remember thinking it like that. So Cripps plays his 200th. McGovern comes out injured. Marchie in. Pitto in. What was the... Were there injuries? What was the story?
Forward 50 stoppage.
Forward 50 stoppage?
We conceded, like, I think 3 goals from forward 50 stoppages. And, like, I mean, if you look at the timeline and look at the third quarter, I think we kicked 3 goals in the third quarter. They kicked 3 as well. And that was straight away after ours. Yeah, look at that. Just the immediate response.
We kicked behinds.
Charlie
behind. Charlie, that's right. Yeah. Oh, this was the one where Charlie went long, had a shot on goal, and people called him selfish. That's right. It's always a Patrick Cripps goal when we're ahead. That's right. Charlie was just inaccurate in this game, wasn't he?
Yeah, 3-7. I think Harry kicked 3 goals.
It wasn't like diabolical, was it?
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't great either. North wasn't great either.
No, it wasn't great. Port was that was the Harry Mackay laid out.
Yeah.
Did he have delayed concussion? Did he not? Okay, so we've lost De Koning, we've lost Akers, we've lost Mackay laid out. We brought in Lewis Young and played him forward. Charlie played well at the start from memory.
BOG. This game.
Yeah. Oh wow, we were ahead for a lot of this game.
Yeah, 7 goals in the second quarter and then 1 in the third.
Oh my God, we were. Yeah. I don't know why I remember this as... Oh, God.
We were 40 points up. 39, 35, something like
that. We played well, yeah. We were standing there. Just a capitulation. But, like, it's... You see this and you see all of that and you're like, oh my God, okay. Were there any crucial behinds here? No, it's all them. Okay, George Hewitt. Elijah.
Yeah,
Yitzes.
I remember sitting relatively, like, kind of behind the goals for that game. And the amount of times it was Charlie in a 3-on-1 down the line, Charlie in a 2-on-1 down the line. It was like,
Yep.
oh my God.
Yep.
Change it up. And then
And
this game, I remember that game. I remember being just in an absolute mess at full time. And my dad was like, it's okay. Like, the season's still alive. Like, they showed something in the last quarter. And I go, they only showed something because they had to. What were they going to do? Lie down and roll over? Like, obviously, you're going to take risks. Obviously, you're going to take the game on.
so we drop Lewis Young, drop Jack Carroll. Oh, I forgot to take note of the selection integrity.
But to be fair, and I remember saying this pre-game as well, this is probably arguably our best team lined up for this game.
One?
Probably.
True.
Like, look at the ins.
Jack Martin played his 150th.
Like, okay, maybe, but I'll say, like, another thing that I think not derailed the season, because one decision can't derail the season, but the panic to stop using Alex Chincotta as a tag after it didn't work for the Giants game has frustrated me in the fallout.
Well,
because it worked against Suns, worked against
Port.
Worked against Port, worked against the Bombers, worked picture perfect against the Cats, and then we go and then worked against the Giants. I don't know. Oh, this Tigers, Jesus. And then Cornelio and Whitfield got a little bit of a hold of him, and then we basically just dropped it after that.
Yeah, we made the adjustment to bring him in as a tagger and then lost trust of it pretty quickly.
Which is, I don't know if it's emblematic of further deeper issues.
So, okay, Pito comes in here. What was were there particular, I'm trying to remember now, what were the particular selections that everyone got up in arms about? So we lose here.
Cultural coming in.
Okay, let's just for a second, right? We lose this game. We got smashed.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I remember Hewitt gets dropped. I don't remember which game, if it was straight after. Let's have a look. No. Hewitt plays this week.
It might have been further on in the year.
Hewitt plays here. Let's have a look. Just brief player stats. Okay, he has his 20. Kicks a goal. Okay,
4 tackles. Fine.
Okay, when did he get dropped?
Check the Giants game, maybe.
Unchanged for Port.
The only game we went in unchanged for the year.
Okay. Bombers. He played?
Yeah.
No, only one change. An injury.
Played against the Cats.
Okay. Played against the Tigers.
Did he?
Okay. So Chera was inserted here. Let's just go back. Let's just set the scene.
It might have been the Giants game.
We beat the Cats, right? Up and about. And about. Okay. Fantasia's come in. No worries.
And that change is basically a straight swap.
Hewitt's still playing.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Richmond happens. We managed a coning. That was to rest him. Is that right?
Laid out George Hewitt the sub.
Laid out George Hewitt the sub. Okay.
And then I think it's the next week, is when Matt Cottrell comes in. And we get rid of George Hewitt.
How did Hewitt go? How did Chera go?
He got subbed off. I think. Did he?
In this Richmond game?
Check time on ground.
Oh.
Or am I imagining things? Yeah,
Chera played 54%. Subbed off. He got subbed off for the Richmond game. Okay. So that happens. GWS away.
This is where Hewitt comes out, I think, yeah.
Hewitt was... Okay, he was omitted. Okay.
And I remember the discourse being, if only we had a midfielder who could lay a tackle and stem the flow when they kicked like 11 goals in a row, whenever it was.
Chera played this game.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the sub for Richmond, is what you're saying? No?
Hewitt was the sub for Richmond.
And Chera came off?
I think so. I think I was looking at his AFL tables today.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
We go with Kennedy and Elijah. Bit of speed. Okay. So Hewitt doesn't play against the Giants. Neither does
Chera subbed off against Richmond.
Pitto. Pitto plays against the Giants. DeConey out. Okay. Then we get here, the Dogs. Hewitt did not come in, did he? No, he didn't.
No.
Kennedy was the sub. So Hewitt's not playing and Kennedy's the sub. We played Elijah as a mid with Chera.
Can you check quickly while you're there? Can you check CBAs on that? Go player stats. And go advanced.
No, not here.
Okay, wait. I want to check the CBAs for that.
Did Hewitt come in? When did he come back in? He came back in for North.
Ironic.
We dropped Brody. We dropped Pitto. Marchie was ill. Boyd was injured. Williams got injured. Cunners, Carroll, Hewitt, Motlop, and Sam Durden. Okay.
So the centre bounce attendance for the Dogs game was Cripps, Chera, Walsh, Kennedy, Elijah, and then Fogg.
Uh-huh.
So it seems to be maybe Chera for Hewitt.
Where's the awful selection integrity?
Dropping George Hewitt for the Giants game. And I also think, obviously hindsight's a beautiful thing, but Matt Cottrell came in for the Giants game and didn't really look the same player.
That's true.
I also think Tom DeConey had the best 4 games I've seen from a Carl Ruckman in my lifetime, and then I understand he got managed, and then he came back in, and then he got injured. So you can understand the thought process for managing him against Nang, but also you back Tom to just jump over him and jump around him.
Wow. And then it's just carnage in this game.
Like flies.
God, just.
I also think this game, and I'm not going to sit here and say that injuries were the reason that our season capitulated, because we've seen that it's not like we've seen it by how we were looking at our ins and outs. But when you need to make change, and change needed to be made, in my opinion, probably after the North game. Even though we won, we didn't win convincingly. So I thought change definitely needed to be made after that game. And that's when injuries start to pile up. And it's hard to make change when 30% of your list is injured or not available. And I think David King made this great point where he goes, if you take your 44 players and put them in a list, right? If you have 10 who are injured, that means you're down to your 20. That means you're down to your 33rd player that you can pick from on the list. Whereas, and think about who our 33rd best player would be. They're the guys who are in the VFL constantly, right? You take your Cat B's out, like your Doms and your Rob Monaghan's and these guys. Like your 33rd best player is something. He's a players along the lines of your Ashton Moyers and your Cooper Lords, these guys. Whereas if you're only down to your 28th, 27th best player, they're your guys who are on your fringes. They're your Jack Harrells who can come in and do a job. They're your guys like a Matt Kennedy who's on the fringes, or your Alex Chincotters, or your Lockie Cowans, or your Lewis Youngs, or your Corey Durdens, like guys who can come in and play a role. It's really hard to make change when you're down to your 33rd, 34th, 35th player on the list. So I'm not going to sit here and say that injuries were the reason that our season fell apart, because they clearly weren't. But it's very hard to make change when your players are injured, and it's also very hard to make change when your players can't compete at the same level that they want to because of their bodies letting them down.
Yeah. Channel 7 just reported that Carlton is sending Chera to Qatar to assess his soft tissue injuries. Well, that's good.
I also think we should think about Adam Chera. Like, he was leading our BNF last year for the majority of the season.
Well, those guys that had the hammies, they never were able to play with what looked like a mental freedom. Like, Saad didn't really have the same burst and power seemingly through his legs when he came back from his hammy.
Yeah, didn't look like it.
And Chera just didn't look anything like a guy that was confident in his body.
No, definitely not. Even the players who came in, like Jesse, didn't look the same player that he was last year when he came in. Cottrell, when he came in after his injury, didn't look the same player. Yeah, it's bizarre how they can all come and then disappear and then come again in that wave. Because while I'm not going to sit here and use injuries as the lack of injuries as a reason why we were able to go on that run in the middle of the year, we were able to find our best team because we had everyone available to us at the same time. So that allowed for tinkering and that allowed for plugging in and plugging out. Whereas it's hard to find your best team, even with, like, when you're down to your 34th best player, it's very hard. It's not even hard to find your best team, but it's hard to find a structure that works because you have your two key forwards, for example, Harry and Charlie, who will be there if everyone's fully fit. If one of them's out, you can't put Lewis Young in Harry Mackay's spot and expect him to do the same things he can physically and technically. So it's hard to build structure around those players and train around those players when the player can't do what the other person can do just by the nature of the beast.
Dan Houston, yes or no?
No.
Yeah, I think I agree.
No. Just...
You know what's the funniest rhetoric around that? Bommy's like, we're going to get Dan Houston so like no one can move ahead of him so he can just kick down the line.
Kick down the line.
It's the like...
The immediate rationale that I go to is the more you rely on external players to come in and get success for your club shows the inability to develop and sustain a culture of developing players. So we shouldn't be needing to go out and get Dan Houston. We should have been relying on Lockie O'Brien to be that player because we drafted him, and we should have developed into being a player like that. We shouldn't have needed to go. We shouldn't need to go out and get I don't know, insert half forward here. We should have relied for Sam Trzaskowski to be that player because we drafted him. But
I think didn't need to get Tapley because we developed Matt Owies.
Well, yeah. Owies is a anomaly in my opinion of the club actually developing a player.
True.
Because he's a more than serviceable small forward.
Yeah, that's a real development story.
Yeah. Who else?
A development story?
I'm looking. You can't sit here and say Walsh or Wiedering because they were number one picks. So
no, guy. Well, Cottrell, I do think is that.
Yes,
I know that he hasn't had a good year.
Yeah, no, Cottrell, I agree.
Cottrell earned this greater reputation. I know that by the end, everyone's like, why did Cottrell come in? We treated him like he was this star. But early in the year when he was fit, he was critical.
Of course. No, right. Yeah, 100%. In the back end of last year as well, he was the guy that was running 15Ks sometimes was getting 14 touches, kicking 2 goals. Other times was getting 8 touches, but he was there every week running and putting in the hard yards. So I 100% agree. 100% agree. Boyd, yep. Boyd's a good one. As someone who we've plucked from obscurity and developed. But I mean, if you look at guys like Geelong, I know Geelong's the yardstick in a sense, but there's no way we're picking guys who are playing in the waffle twos, picking in pick 73 or whatever Lawson Humphries was picked at, and him playing in a prelim final. There's no way that happens at our club. No way.
Nick Haynes, thoughts?
Negligible difference at best. He'll come in.
As in, what if he's replacing a Marchbank on the list?
His impact will be negligible to that of Caleb Marchbank in my year. He'll come in, he's 33, he'll be on the list for 2 years, be paid $400K across those 2 years. Maybe he plays 44 games, maybe he plays 5. Who knows? But if we want to be a good team for a long time, he's not the guy. But I'm not saying that but I'm not saying we shouldn't go out and get him. I think we should, on the balance of everything.
I just think he's such a good. I just think he's such a smart player.
Good player. He brings leadership. He brings off-field qualities, and he brings
a lot of high IQ. I think he's a high IQ player.
No, for sure.
It's a very Geelong move, you know.
Is it?
Hey, Debbie, why has Owies not given a contract? I reckon it's. I mean, it has to come to an end this week or next week with Owies, right? Because they're doing exit interviews now. So surely we're going to get a notification either way. It's interesting in such a volatile trade rumor era that we live in. There isn't really a rumor that he's leaving Carlton. It's just that we haven't heard that he's signed, right?
Yeah, and it's also because of his performances as well.
No, as in, none of the journos are like writing up. I mean, there's already articles around, Jack Martin may request a trade, but like none of that's coming out about Owies.
Yeah, and the reason why it's a not talking point, but a confusing sort of circumstances is because he's our best small forward. So it's like we've been yearning for a small forward that can kick 35, 40 goals a year, and the only person that's likely to do that right now is Matt Owies. Jesse Motlop, the rung under that hasn't shown it consistently, unfortunately.
So is it just health is going to give us those 2 to 3 extra wins, 4 extra wins that we wanted? Is that the difference between?
Well, this goes back to what I was saying. Health probably won't. However, if we had a normal injury list in the back half of the year, we wouldn't be in this position because
we had 3 players play every game, right?
Yeah.
What if we had 8 players play every game?
I don't know if that specific example will show a difference, if that makes sense. I think
because it makes perfect sense because there's getting everyone healthy, and then does the team work when everyone's healthy for the whole season?
Yeah. Well, so we were able to find our best team in a sense during that middle portion of the year, where I think, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but where I think durability is most important is when things are going poorly. And when things are going poorly, if you have a durable list, if all of your players or most of your players are available, it allows you the tools to tinker and to change. If Carlton are going through a form slump, if Carlton have lost 5 out of their last 7 games, and they have 40% of their or 35% of their players on the injury list, what can Michael Voss realistically do to make substantial change to that team? Whereas if he had 90, 85% of his list available, then he has more tools available to him to make those necessary changes. So that's why I think, whilst I don't think injuries played a part in the demise, I think it played a part in the inability to fix it. Because if we had our full list available after the Hawthorn game, heading into the St Kilda game, heading into the Brisbane game, and they were all fit and they were all healthy, the last 3 weeks would have played out very differently, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes when it comes to durability. Because teams have ebbs and flows. It's natural. No, very rarely do teams lose 2 games a year, lose 3 games a year. We were never going to win every game for the rest of the season after the Geelong game, but it was just about how we were able to respond. And I don't think we were able to respond properly because of the depletion.
How many of these injuries do you think were in our control and out of our control? So obviously every collision injury is out of our control. Every single one of them. Yeah. Every single one. So
of course.
That's Cottrell, that's Fogarty, that's Doc, that's Jack Silvani. I'm sorry, they weren't collision.
But knees aren't.
Yeah.
David Cunningham did his shoulder by running into Willie Rioli against Port. And he was, I think we also need to look at, like, Mitch McGovern had a relatively healthy year this year. Played most-ish games. Played basically every game last year, especially in comparison to where he was 2022, 2021, etc.
Because I said this in my video the other day, like you see the consistency in some of these performances, and we saw it with the ratings. Some of them just have this ground that they don't fall out of. Some of them do. Like Walsh, for all the talk about he may not have been at his prolific best towards the second half of the year, the fact that he had an interrupted preseason and still played the amount of games that he did says something to his diligence, I believe. I think Wiedering's the exact same. It says something to the diligence. Wiedering had a soft tissue as well. But I can't imagine Chera not being a super diligent player. Maybe he's not. I don't know.
But I think last year he showed that he was.
Yeah,
because he was the only player that was performing when we were bad last year, and that shows bottle. It's all well and good when you're performing, when everyone's up and about and the ball's being fed to you and you're getting service and it's all happy days. But when all your rest of your mates are performing bad, if you're the one to step up and actually perform and actually do well, that shows a bit of bottle. That shows a bit of something. So I don't. Maybe it's just horrendous luck. Maybe. It would have to be like the worst luck you could ever draw on. And maybe that has something to do with it. But I also think, like what are your opinions on the way Charlie Curnow was managed post-Giants?
Well, okay. Charlie first rolled that ankle against North on Good Friday.
Right.
Then there was this. Was there one more? Was there? I think he might. No, there was Port Adelaide away. He rolled it that night as well. Then he rolled it. Then there was the sprinkler at GWS, and then it wasn't until.
Did he actually trip over a sprinkler? Is that what happened?
Well, that's what whatever. He rolled it again in the warm up, right? Then we didn't find out until Hawthorn 4 or 5 weeks later that he'd been carrying it from the GWS game. So the question is, was it something that even if he had rest, it wouldn't have made a difference?
Depends on what the injury was. We're not doctors. We don't know.
Because unless he did syndesmosis in the warm-up of the Giants, I feel like 4 or 5 weeks rest from that moment would have been okay. And it's not like he wasn't impacting. He was still kicking a couple. He just wasn't. We just didn't see 5s and 6s and 10s from Charlie this year.
No, it's probably his worst year since he's come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. and he still finished third in the Common, which just says everything that needs to be said, in my opinion. About how good he is. I mean, he was best on ground for us against Port Adelaide. Like he kicked three, was being triple teamed, was taking contested marks, was being the only person forward of centre that showed any sort of fight and any sort of energy.
He won us games. He definitely won us games. Individual, like he still had those individual. It just didn't come across 4 quarters. Like Brisbane opening round, he got us back in that game. He sparked it.
Absolutely. Freo in gather round as well.
Yes.
He was a big kind of player in that game. In low scoring-ish games like the game against Port, he'd kick 3 to 3/4 time and like kept us in a kick that big goal late on in the third, that snap. Was kicked 5 or so against the Cats. I know that was a blowout, but he was still performing well and was still doing what he needed to do. I think he'd kicked, I think what the stat was, he kicked over 2 goals, but under 4 goals in every game bar 1 up until the Richmond game.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because he kicked one against the Giants.
The Doggies game, he was just wildly inaccurate. In actual fact, it was the most inaccurate we had seen him ever. Last year was the story of Harry.
Yeah, it's really funny how that narrative has quickly changed.
Because Charlie was just inaccurate this year.
I think this year. I'm happy you said this year because I feel like for on the most part it was not a good year in front of goal for Charlie. I never really felt truly confident. I mean, you look at the goals and behinds.
So what's that? Like 57 goals, 41 behinds. Harry, 49 goals, 21 behinds. So if we just go to last year, for example, 81 goals, 44 behinds. That's a 60% accuracy. Harry was like, oh, God. Harry.
I kicked like 20 goals last year.
Oh, Harry.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, 29.
Was injured for 6 weeks as well.
Was injured, yeah. So, and then 2022, Charlie was obviously the first season back. 64-42. So, okay, he's actually, goal. It's actually the same, the goal accuracy. It's not that different.
No. Yeah, but also he was wildly inaccurate in those final 2 games.
Yeah.
1 goal 4 and 2 goals 5, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jesse Hogan. Look at where.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I really wish we could see a shot map. All of his kicks are 35 out slide angles, 35 out directly in front. The service he gets when the Giants are at their best is just impeccable. Charlie, mate, if Charlie was playing that GWS team, he would be kicking 150 goals. Like the service and the positions where Hogan gets his kicks is just phenomenal. So I think that kind of it says a lot about it in a sense.
True.
Having a sore ankle doesn't help his kicking. Yeah, especially towards the back end. Because it wasn't his kicking foot, but I'd argue that's almost worse because if that standing foot when you plant and launch off is very important when it comes to kicking a ball because you need the stability, you need the balance.
Yeah, John, look at how Jesse uses his body, but different body types. Jesse can't jump.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Charlie can, and Jesse can't react to ground ball like Charlie can.
Yeah, Jesse's a smarter forward. So I think a pure forward craft, Jesse Hogan's better, but that's because he doesn't have the physical attributes that Charlie has. But I mean, you talk to key defenders all the time. I think Phil Davis spoke about Jesse Hogan and like just constantly on the move, tiptoeing around behind to the side. How many times have we seen Charlie? I want it there. He's not actually moving.
Do you think the ankle injury led to the wrestling narrative? Because I saw the Port game when we lost, right? He was moving like a madman.
Yeah, he was exceptional.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre because of the I mean, he didn't get a goal against the Pies. Jesus, that was the game that broke the streak.
There was a moment in the elimination final on Saturday night, which just was one of the first times that I've been saying, like, we know how teams are going to set up defensively against Harry or Charlie, right? So why can't we find that other player? Lewis Young's kick to George Hewitt in the third quarter was everything that I thought we should be able to do, and use the whole, we're predictable narrative against other teams. Like, we know how other teams are going to set up defensively now. It's very clear. How are we not able to figure that out mid-game?
Lewis was very good on Saturday.
Lewis played with a spirit and an intensity that I have not seen him play with since 2022. Sorry, no, he did play like that a little bit more against St Kilda as well. But that final, it was like angry. There was like an anger. There was
aggressive
to him. Yeah,
yeah, he was very good. I was very impressed with his game. And look, I don't think he's the greatest footballer that we've got, but I was like, yes, he's playing like exceptionally well. And I mean, if you had told me that we'd be speaking about Lewis Young in the way that we're speaking about him before, like after the game, if you told us before, you're thinking, oh wait, we're romping this home. If we're speaking about Lewis Young as if he's prime Matthew Scarlett, Adam Sard's the best halfback flanker to ever exist. Harry's kicking 12, Brody's kicking 6 with love and life. It's just funny how things work out that way. But that kick, and even, I mean, that was probably the only real example of that happening throughout that game. And even the St Kilda game. And I mean, to be honest, even the West Coast game, it was very... I don't even know how to describe it, but we weren't drastically better in terms of hitting up targets. It was,
It's all going to come around again, and all of that. I actually feel a little bit better.
Adam Cherry is also in early talks for an extension beyond his current contract that expires in 2025.
Where are you reading that?
Mitchell Cleary.
On Twitter?
Yeah, my guy.
That's going to be interesting.
My guy. If you could pluck one player out of the competition and bring him in, realistic. Don't just say like the Bond or someone.
No, mine was Brent Daniels, but he obviously just resigned.
Pinger for the vertically challenged.
Yeah.
Travis Boak. See, I was thinking about this earlier.
Yeah.
My one fantasy sort of thing that we could do isn't actually a trade. If I could change one thing about our list, is I would give Lockie Cowan a potion that made him 198 centimeters and 104 kilos. And then I think we'd be set. He's everything our second key back needs to be, except he's just too small, in my opinion. Because then you'd have him and Wieders, Dove, and then Sard, Boyd, Newman, Chincotta, bang, lock the back seven away.
Do you think one of those guys will move into a? Do you forecast any positional changes?
It's very early. I don't see what we could do.
Like Jack Silvani's a forward, right?
Forward ruck, yeah.
So does that mean Brody Kemp can't play forward anymore? And then when Ashton Moy is playing games,
does that mean Jack Silvani moves back? He's not big enough to be that guy anyway. Or is he? I don't know.
Think about Jack. Yeah. There's a lot to play out there.
Oh, yeah, a lot, yeah. I think Ashton plays the Jack Martin role. So I think there is a world where you can play Kemp and Ashton Boy in the same forward line, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Been seeing a few comments lately about like Sard being transitioned into the midfield. Or the wing. I don't think wing. Okay. Question. Where are our best kicks on the field?
That's a good question.
Which position? I would say it's the back line. I'd say the best kicks in the team are in the back line. Yeah, I would say Sard, Newman, McGovern, Wiedering are the best kicks in the team. Boyd.
Yeah, okay, true. My mind went to the forward line. I just think Elijah, Charlie.
Okay.
The buck probably stops there. Probably not the forward line. But yeah, now that you've
So is there room for a couple of those guys to be kicking the ball inside 50? So like Newman was a wing, a defender wing, and we sort of saw him play a little bit further up at times this year.
Jordan Boyd was a half forward.
And
played full forward against the Hawks to great effect, obviously. For Jordan. Boydie's kicking did fall off a little bit before he got injured. But I think on a whole, he has enough credits in the bank, in my opinion, to still have us talk about him in the same way, in my opinion. You got to leave Gov there. Can't touch Gov. I don't think you can touch Newman. Sard has literally played halfback his entire career. Can you teach an old dog new tricks?
You put him on a wing? No, you don't need him on a wing.
Don't need him on a wing. Wingers were fine.
Sard now transition into like Bashar Hooley territory.
How so?
Bashar Hooley was super quick at the start of his career. Now he's like the smooth head, cool, calm, collected, kick under pressure.
What Nick Newman is.
But with some level of running power to him. Pace.
Yeah. What do we do with Doc? Because Doc isn't a great kick, but...
No, but he does get the thing moving.
Yeah. And that's what I think we lack sometimes. Like, yeah, I think what we lack, granted, we lack elite kicks, but I also think we lack guys who just get the game going, just like be aggressive. Every kick doesn't need to be absolutely perfect if you just keep going and then push the ball forward. I think Doc's good at that. I also think Blake Acres is good at that as well.
I think Kennedy's good at that too.
I think Kennedy's good at that as well, yeah.
Well, I would just guess Doc's going to play the role that he was forecast to play, forward wing.
Cottrell's role. Have him and Cottrell do that in tandem. Is there
you know what hasn't been spoken about as well? After all the injuries that we had in games this year, after all the guys we rushed back, Doc, TDK, Chera, these guys, we didn't get one injury in the final.
I know, yeah. We're going into the semi-fully fit.
An actual miracle. The one game where the most risk was taken, we didn't get an injury. Like, make it make sense.
Right. Yeah, mate. See, of course it was going to happen there, right? Of course.
Oh, mate. So, like, does that tell you anything, or is it just a wicked coincidence?
No, wicked coincidence, yeah, for sure. Because if that game happens, if we do that in round 17, we're making 10 changes next week because the 6 guys who came in would have got injured, and then we've had 4 more on top of that.
Is that divine intervention? Like, can you imagine it was a carnage of a night, and like the ones we rushed back got hurt again, and like, just. Well, Chris, I guess. Fair.
Yeah. True.
There is that too.
Training cones don't really get injured, do they? That's hard.
Okay. That's a good point.
That's hard.
But no soft tissue.
Yeah, I know. Is there a world next year in which you can forecast Akers, Hollands, Cottrell, Doc all playing in the same team?
Yeah.
That gives us run.
Well, then there's the question of, okay, Binns, Moya, Billy Wilson.
But yeah. Like the idea of Akers, Hollands, Doherty, Cottrell, Fogarty, Hollands again, all running on the outside and overlapping and going. That's granted, none of them are super quick. Akers is really powerful, a really powerful player. Hard to tackle when he's running a full pelt.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Hollands has the evasive skills and will develop that over time, I think. Doc can get the ball forward. Fogarty can get the ball forward. That's that half forward wing kind of role. Even Arazio, if you want to put him there as well, which I think can work.
I'll tell you what I'm feeling. Feeling grateful that the first time I'm starting to get through. I'm also feeling this disgusting feeling that I'm starting to
get sucked back in.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you for helping navigate through my feelings from the start of the show to now, but also it's just like
it's something that I could see. It's something that I want to see. Arazio, if he's a permanent fixture next year, have him at the fall of the ball inside 50. I don't want to see him playing up the ground.
Yeah.
I think if he stays fully fit, he could be that 40-goal a year small forward if he stays permanent deep.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Even Zach Williams pushing up the ground and being a part of that.
I'm a bit concerned about his inconsistency.
Yeah, true. No,
I'm concerned that when they put him back, he lacks the same drive and pace that he was known for. Defensively, I think he can sometimes lose concentration for a split second. Obviously, the forward function wasn't working, so opportunities were starved. But the tag on Zach is because he's just I can't not look at what we pay him. I just can't. How can you not? And that's fair or unfair. It's the fact.
It's not.
It's a marquee slot on the list.
In my opinion,
yeah,
it's not my money. It's not coming out of my bank account, so I don't really care.
It's not that I care how much he makes and provide for your family. It's when you get these when these deals happen, more so with you can only spend so much.
True. I'm looking at this from a more soccer perspective. No, you're right. Yeah,
it has to be a level of expectation when you're in the top 1%.
Yeah,
I dare say there would be a role player that could do what he does that would cost a fraction, but we can't really play that player because we kind of invest here. I don't even know where his best position is.
Yeah, so the argument is does a fully fit Corey Durden provide the same output as a fully fit Zach Williams as a small forward, and Corey Durden's on a fraction of what Zach Williams is on, and a
I
fraction
think
of what
Zach
Jack
Williams
Barton's on.
still. No, I don't know. Yeah, it's
No, but like that's the argument that I get. Yeah,
like I just want to see like, mate, give me a top 5. I'll settle for a top 5, being a 5th BNF finish at this point.
Where would you play him? If I told you Zach Williams is at his physical best, at his physical prime, heading into round 1, he's never had a better preseason. He's fit and firing, hitting all KPIs. Where is he on the team sheet?
Half forward, I think.
Not deep, like pushing up the ground half forward.
I think he's a ground ball player.
Yeah, okay.
And I think, therefore, and I actually do think when he's playing on instinct, he can make a quick decision. And I just think the defensive application wanes a bit too much. He's focused and then he's not. It's just, the concentration can sometimes wane. And that's okay. But just don't have it in the back line, have it in the forward third. I think it's forward.
I agree. I tend to agree. I think he's
like, play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's got that burst. We saw it. The one thing that from Zach Williams, for all of his good things that he did forward of centre in the back half of the year, the one thing from his season that really sticks out of my mind is that play that he did in gather round for Charlie's goal in the last quarter, where he picked the ball up, sidestepped, and burst through like a pack of players and kicked it long. I don't know if anyone remembers that in the chat, but it was in the lead up to Charlie's goal late on in the game. And I was like, that's it. That's it. That's what we need from him. Because he's not, we didn't expect him to come in and be this outside beast of a running machine, but it's that 10, 15 meter burst where he can break away, kick it long, and just surge the ball forward, which you haven't really seen. And that was an example of something that is like, wow, that's what we're missing.
Well, look, the fact that we haven't even been able to see him at one centre bounce probably says a bit. Like, okay, to answer your question, in an ideal world, fully fit, 20 plus games, like all of that, half forward with, I guess, what Cunningham's role is, like half forward stints in the midfield. Elijah, yeah. So just be one of the extra rotations where he's like 5% throughout the midfield.
Yeah, like in an
so we
ideal,
haven't even seen it. Like we literally haven't seen him. I mean, to be fair, he's been injured, but yeah.
Imagine a world where like you've got Elijah Hollins and Zach Williams being your fifth, sixth rotations in the midfield, 5 minutes a quarter, bursting through stoppages, kicking, like evading, handballing out, like two super smooth, super powerful players who can really get the ball going forward.
Yeah.
Like that would be ideal.
Yeah. Just, man, it's just hard. It's like it's all out of our control. And then you're in this phase now. It's like all the what ifs. And like you've just got to you get so invested, and you just got to cop it when it ends because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you've also got to cop. This is gonna sound very cynical of me. I just like kind of digressing a little bit now. Hawthorn, right? Love the way they play. I think the cocky, arrogant Ginnivan, Watson, McDonald, all these guys think it's great. Why it frustrates me to no end that people who support Hawthorn through no fault, like through no reason other than their dad was a Hawthorn supporter, or they just randomly picked Hawthorn one day.
Yeah,
they just had so much more happiness in their life than like anyone else, and especially us, especially in our lifetime. It's like come on, like this, you're meant to be bad now. You're meant to suffer what we suffered for the last 20 years.
True. It's meant to be a rebuild.
Yeah. And so it's like I'm not like credit to them, like they're playing great football and they've got a great coach, seemingly a great coach, but like come on.
There's a piece of I was there. I went to the final last week. Amazing. There's a piece of footage that Hawthorn put up, and it's just behind the scenes footage. And one of the things that hurts again about that Hawthorn game is I've now seen this footage of what Sam Mitchell told the Hawthorn boys before the game. And he said something to the effect of, today you're going to be mentally tested and I want you to be ready because there will come a moment where you are mentally tested today. You're going to have to overcome it. And they fucking weren't.
Yeah. I was where was it mentally tested?
Like, that hurts. That hurts,
Yeah, like at the
like give us something. But ultimately,
it's like we weren't even hard to play against.
If we got ahead of ourselves, surely the players did. Because they are Carlton people.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. If the reason of the demise is the fact that they got home on a Sunday night after smashing the Tigers, they sit down on the couch ready to watch Bounce. They check their phone, they check the ladder, and it says Carlton second, 6 points clear in third. And they collectively as a group on average thought, how good is this? This is easy. If that's the reason for the demise and took their mind off the ball for 5%, is that easy to stomach from the perspective of it's fixable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it absolutely is because it's honest.
Yeah. It's accountable.
Because it would, if that's the truth, that's the truth.
Yeah.
There's no way in my mind, there's no way they don't know exactly what it is. And if that is the case, that they genuinely cannot pinpoint what happened, then the wrong people are there. But I strongly don't believe the wrong people are there because, mate, don't ask me about belief. Who knows what I believe in? It's always wrong. It's always wrong. So, yeah. There's no way they don't know. There's no way they don't know. They knew what the issue was in 21 when the external review came. Maybe they just wanted to get an extra opinion. There's just no way that they didn't know exactly what happened.
Yeah. The BNF speeches from the hierarchy will be very interesting, I think.
Are you going?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to go.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I want to go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
I'm just
I've considered genuinely. Pardon?
Free piss, so I'm there.
Oh, I mean, like whatever. I've considered raffling my tickets. 2 tickets. Oh, speaking of Ari, raffle.
Yes.
Check it.
The ball.
Signed by the team. For those of you
44.
watching. Yeah. For those of you watching, I forged all the signatures. Nah.
It would be a great play.
No, I had someone say, where's a certificate of authentication for the Charlie Kerno Guernsey? I was like, all right, well, I don't have one for the ball either, but this was given as a gift in the preseason function. So if you would like to win the ball, I'm drawing it out 8 p.m. on Monday on the BA show. The ball and the Patrick Cripps candle, the link. Do you like that?
Yeah, no, that's great.
The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. For those of you who want to win, I'm going to spin the wheel. Got a few more things I want to get rid of as well.
Terry doing a Ricky Nixon.
Pardon?
John in the comments, Terry doing a Ricky Nixon.
Ricky Nixon. True. Yeah. Oh, God.
Debbie, do I genuinely believe that? I assuming this is about the getting ahead of themselves. I want to believe it because I think if that's the case, that it's fixable, and then it's like okay,
Well,
because
outside looking in, it was a concentration issue.
The other thing, which I'm going to use your favorite phrase. Pick up the phone, David. No, I'm joking. Did they try too hard?
No.
Did they try too hard to try and be overly to try and tinker with something that was already working, to try and change things for the sake of trying to get better, when in reality all they need to do was just keep doing what they needed to do?
Yeah. There's a school of thought that Sydney happened and they panicked, but then there's like you can't win in that situation. There's either you got the feedback and you didn't make change, or you got the feedback and you were too reactive to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That thing of they panicked after Sydney. What scares me is that, and what scares me, and I don't think this is the case, but look, we've got to explore all possible scenarios. What scares me is that portion during the year where we were performing well. What if that wasn't the way that Michael Voss wanted us to play football? And what if he tried to transition us in the back end of the season into his style of play?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the contest and pressure talk is the base level, I think. Doc also said that we wanted to add this other layer to our game and it takes some time to gel. I do wonder if we'll still be hearing contest and pressure 100% of the time next year.
It should be a bare minimum, no?
Well, yeah.
It should be a non-negotiable.
Yeah. Do you know what time it is, Ari?
Front bar's about to start.
No. Ari, what time is it?
It's 7:43.
Ari, mate, it's time to do a predictor. Play it out. How does it work this week? You know there's only going to be 3 finals at the MCG this year.
I hate it. Fucking bring back the AFL.
Yeah. Giants, Lions, NG Stadium.
The Giants will win.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the Lions will win, but how do we decide this?
Paper, scissors, rock.
Ready?
How are we doing this?
So it'll be paper, scissors, rock, shoot.
Okay.
Paper, scissors. Well,
rock.
go on my.
I am. There's a delay.
Oh, it's delayed. Well,
we'll just do it and we'll see who wins.
No, wait. How can we do this with the delay? What game can we play? Big think. I can flip a coin online.
I don't have a coin on me.
No, I can flip it online. Like Google has a coin flip.
But boring.
And I can share my screen. Ready? What do you want, heads or tails?
I can't say it, so.
Well, I'm not going to spin it yet.
Oh, well, I want to be able to see it. I want to look at the coin. You could close our eyes and do it.
Okay, just wait. Close your eyes and hold. Oh, true. Oh.
I don't trust you to close your eyes there.
Yeah, I don't trust you either. True.
It's not going to work.
Okay. Seeing as, you know what, Ari? I'll let you pick.
Oh, thanks. You're so
And then
kind.
from then on, the winner of whoever wins the coin will, if we have to use another coin, they choose. You pick heads or tails.
Tails.
It's heads. Brizzy. Port Adelaide, Hawthorn.
I think Port will win. You know.
Same. It's Ken. Yes, same.
Yeah.
It's. I'm so with you. It's so Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I reckon they do it.
Mate, it's more than a sport. I'm telling you. Sydney, Port Adelaide.
The Swans.
Geelong, Brisbane at the MCG.
Brisbane. It would be really funny after all of this, after this season, after all what's happened this season, the team who wins the flag is just the team that everyone predicted to win the flag before the season started.
True.
I think the Swans will win. I mean, I think the Giants win the grand final, but clearly not. But yeah, from this Swans win.
Can you imagine if we get a rematch
22
of that? I think it will be this. If it's Sydney Geelong, I think Sydney would win by a lot.
Oh, they just that midfield. If that midfield gets on top, yeah.
Revenge.
Yeah.
The Lions have been. I think. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. You can't lose back-to-back grannies. Who's the last team to lose back-to-back grannies? Was that St Kilda in 90?
10,
Oh.
10, 9, 10.
9 and 10.
Technically, no, because they drew one.
Yeah. They drew and then they lost. Okay.
But before then, it would have been Collingwood.
Oh my God, is Brisbane the modern day St Kilda?
Maybe.
Oh my God, they've got all the hallmarks. We are the first people, let the record show, to bring that up.
If we go on Fox Footy tomorrow.
We just picked it all apart and we realized that Brisbane is St Kilda.
I like that. I like your work.
I like what you've done there, my friend. If the Lions if this was to happen and the Lions lose another granny, does that just mentally ruin it?
Yeah, it'd be hard to see them coming back from it.
2 grannies, mate, like in a row.
And considering like they were good for so long and never made it, then they made it and fell, and then they were terrible and they fought back, made it again and then fall. It's like, how many more punches to the face can you take?
Yeah, and that's why I think we need to take stock of that as well. Like, just nothing's guaranteed, even when everything goes almost perfectly. Like, imagine losing the granny like Brisbane did last year.
How many games have the Lions won at the G? I think they've won 2 out of their last 20 or something like that.
I don't think the Swans would have a great MCG. I mean, they lost to Richmond there this year.
Yes, and last year.
And they lost to Richmond last year as well? Yeah. So, yeah.
I think for the record, I think it'll be a Sydney GWS grand final. I think GWS win.
For the record?
Yeah.
You're just letting the record know?
Shout out to the record. Footy record. $6. What a rip-off. What an actual disgrace.
$6?
Yeah. Doesn't even roll off the tongue anymore. Who wants to get their footy records for $6?
They don't even scream it out like they used to.
No, they do. See, if you walk among the common folk and don't go underneath in your RMs and go up through
underneath?
elevators.
Mate, I get off at Richmond Station. I go do the AFL walk. Yeah.
You know? Richmond Station?
Hey, guess what? Would you be down, or those of you watching, for pre-game meetups at Marvel?
Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
No.
Wait, if I wasn't going to be there, would you still be there?
Yeah, I'd come if you
No,
were.
that would. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, be great.
What about an end of season function?
Absolutely.
Okay. Chat. Yes, no. End of season function. I have a venue.
Is it
sick.
Crown Palladium?
No. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Is it the social room at the Carnford Club?
No, it's a really it's at Marvel. It's a really cool spot. I met with the owner this week. He showed me around, and I was like, oh my god! But we would need to get really good numbers for it to be.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd have to be like
yeah. It'd be a ticketed event. It'd
black tie,
dress up, semi-formal.
Oh, nice cocktail. Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, we dress up. Get together.
Nice.
Put the RMs on.
Don't have them, but I'll buy some RMs and then
no RMs, but something we can just properly dress up for. Kind of like not as formal as the BNF, but you're still dressing up.
I'm gonna wear a 3-piece suit.
Yeah, tickets about $300.
Do I get some gold with that? Or fucking.
I'm working through. I need to get I'm going to put a little poll up, gather some names, working on it with the besties as well. So, yeah.
Joint.
But I want to dress up. I don't want to wear Carlton stuff. I want to dress up.
You can wear Carlton stuff and dress up.
How?
Carlton should release a suit.
Oh my god. BA suits.
Shut up.
Did I go to Marsland? No, mate. I was a Laylaw Secondary College boy.
Yeah, he's blue collar. Yeah, blue collar.
Blue collar, mate. What do you mean? Laylaw Secondary, playing basketball on the concrete every day.
As you could tell, I went to a grammar school.
You can so tell you went to a grammar school. Most people think I went to a private school, though. I don't know why.
It's because the RMs.
What do you mean the RMs? I don't look like an RM kind of guy.
Yes, you do.
How? I shave my head.
Yeah, but you're always so clean cut and so polished.
Polished? I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, but that's you look great.
Thanks.
Look bad once in a while, like everyone else.
What do you mean? Have you not seen the stress in my face?
I'm not going to comment on your appearance. It's mean.
You just
don't give the Carlton Football Club any fucking ideas. If Carlton come out with a suit, I'll buy it.
I look like a tough.
What's a tough?
I'm googling it. What's a tough?
Does he look like a Melbourne supporter?
A rich or upper class person?
Pretentious. Basically.
A rich or upper. Okay.
You look like a Melbourne supporter. Have you been to the Snow, Terry?
No, I've never been to the Snow.
What's your favourite cheese?
My favorite cheese. Love a bit of mozzarella, on the nachos.
What's your proper answer?
Genuinely.
Mine's
mozzarella.
brie. Mine's brie.
Oh yeah, that's the soft, squishy one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your favorite assorted meat? Assorted ham.
Salami.
Any specifics?
Salami.
I'm a prosciutto kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're starting to, yeah. I like to do other cool. Okay, yeah. I think maybe the eyebrow threading and the facials and the floats. I can kind of see where you get the
law degree, these sort of things.
What? Someone from the hood can't get a law degree?
No, but it's very did you get many HDs in your time?
first year, yes, and then I literally just passed everything else. I was so bad after the first year.
Yeah, well, you look like you present well and are very distinguished, which once again I think is a very much a compliment.
We want that. No, we want that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress. Ari, guess what?
What?
This is it.
This is it. Well, this is actually it.
This is it. I'm getting a little bit sad. It's a week of goodbyes. It's not goodbye. I'll probably be doing a video tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
Ari, you know what? I feel better.
Thanks. This was my aim, very much my aim. Very much my aim.
Yep. I
To
feel
try
better. Thanks for being a great co-host. Thanks for just being yourself. Chat, thanks for tuning in every week to this show. Send through some ideas. What can we do? Ari and I will do something next year. We don't want to be looking back, though. You know, we want to be looking forward.
Yes.
Well, I haven't given you. Am I offering you? Okay, exit interview.
Here we go. There we go.
All right.
This is where I got. This is where I got to get my RMs. This is what I got to present now nicely. Coming to the exit meeting, all guns blazing.
All right, you got a 1-year deal on offer.
Mick has a question, Terry. What's your job at the moment? I think his current role is social media kingpin. I think that's what he goes by.
Yeah, we'll be back, but we're going to rejig the show a bit so we can look a little bit more ahead. Or maybe we bring back the rest.
Could do that.
We've
got a whole off season to chat.
Yeah. All right. Peace out. Go Blues.
Thank you all. Go Blues.
Yeah.